So I take a break from watching Scarface to get back into my research of this whole Dak Prescott deep ball accuracy deal. If y'all haven't seen the last video, y'all can check that out. I'll put the link in here somewhere. But now that we've gotten that out the way, like there are plenty subtopics for us to try to figure out and get into, like Dak Prescott specifically throwing the ball to Michael Gallup. I know there are a lot of people that have a little bit of inquisition about that. So, hey man, let's get into it and figure out, was he accurate? Is it a myth? I say a lot of good things about Dak, but justifiably so, I say a lot of bad things about him as well. It's just that when I say good things or bad things, the opposite Dak faction attacks me, so I'm willing to take all of that, but I try to be fair on this channel. Now, on the last video, Dak Prescott, or at least I told y'all that Dak Prescott threw the ball deep 82 times. He completed 37 of them, which gives him a 45% completion rating, which puts him right amongst his peers. Like, he's not a below average deep thrower or anything like that. Like, he's right up there with the elites and with his peers. So we kind of, busted that myth wide open. But let's take a look at him only throwing to Michael Gallup. So I got about 4 minutes and 37 seconds of rolling film here. Let's click it and we'll just watch it, and I'll just talk about some of my findings. So when I'm watching the film on Michael Gallup, and let me just kind of talk y'all through this, man. Like, we're not going to break down every single play because that'll be like an hour-long video. But you can kind of rewind this thing, as you need to. Like, if you see a play, we'll just kind of go from there. But Michael Gallup is up top right here. I'm not going to point him out every single time. Y'all just going to have to rewind it. This is more of a think piece in the film session. But so as I'm watching the first part of the season, just watching Michael Gallup, what I noticed was, like, we connected on a lot more Michael Gallup passes than I really thought. That was incompletion, but the next 5 throws here are going to be completions. So I think that we realize Michael Gallup is one of those guys that can be a deep threat for us, like whether it be vertically, he tracks the ball really well. He even got a few jump ball situations that worked out well for him. And I'm watching and I'm like, man, what the hell these fans talking about? These hoes tripping. The Voch bag that I get into, that people are wrong bag, right? So, like, we get to a point in the season where Dak is like 5 for 6 throwing the ball to Michael Gallup, right? But something interesting happens, and like Coop shows up. And when Coop shows up, I think that's where the inaccuracy kind of comes from. And I'll kind of break that down a little bit in a minute though. But we see Gallup getting open with double moves. We see him just flat out running past people. We see him muscling his way through some of these deep passes. And if you take a look at the comment section on the last video, we were talking about Dak's accuracy. You see a lot of goofy fans in there talking about some, yeah, he completed those passes, but they weren't directly on the numbers. Well, every pass isn't going to be like a full-on accurate, perfect pass. Like, that's not fair, because you would have to look at every quarterback and break down where their passes are going. So let's not get into that, but we're only talking about completions and incompletions. And I did this just to let me keep track of where we were in the season. So the first 6 throws to Michael Gallup, and this is the first Redskins game. So the first 6 throws from the Panthers to the Redskins game, Dak Prescott was 5 for 6 with Michael Gallup. And I wasn't even going to keep this title card in here, but I thought it was interesting because I'm going to show you what the next number looks like. It seems like when Coop got on the team, because this is the next deep Gallup throw came in the Tennessee game. So it seems like when Coop got there, that's when Dak really started missing throws with Michael Gallup. Now, I'm going to do a little bit more research, but what I can kind of deduce from it is that there's such a difference in receiver, because we know that Dak and Cooper have that connection. Like, Dak and Cooper, like, they miss sometimes, but they don't miss too much. Cooper and Gallup aren't the same type of receiver. Like, they're both nuanced route runner yak guys, but Amari Cooper got a whole different burst, right? Cooper is actually like 4th overall pick talent. Like, Coop is a like high 4.4, like, late 4.3 running type of guys. That ain't necessarily Gallup. Gallup gets open in different ways. And what I think happened was, I think Dak had to adjust this learning curve. I'm throwing deep to Cooper and I'm hitting them. I'm throwing deep to guys like Tavon Austin and I'm hitting them, So these faster guys, Dak has some pretty good accuracy on. Now we see when he doesn't have accuracy with Michael Gallup, he's overthrowing him. So I'm going to have to look back at it to kind of take a deeper look. But what I'm thinking is maybe it's a situation to where Dak thinks that Gallup has a little more burst than he does. There's even sometimes when you watch some of the misses, Gallup didn't fully run through the route. And maybe early in the season, Dak could kind of, he could kind of feel his way through that. But, once we got like fast guys on the field, like a bunch, like a lot of fast guys on the field, then there came a learning curve. And I wanted to keep these title cards here because we saw there's a big difference between 5 for 6 and 1 for 6, right? Like, damn, we throw you the ball deep 6 times and you only get 1 of them. So as of now, Dak is at 50% with Michael Gallup, which is 6 for 12. I'm not a math major. Somebody tell me if I'm right or wrong there. Let's keep watching. So this is the second Redskins game. And like I said, man, I'm going to go back over this. And so if y'all in the chat box or the comment section and y'all want me to go back and review each and every last one of these throws, then we can have that conversation. We can do that and do it film session mode. But y'all go in the chat box and tell me if that's something that y'all are interested in. This is one of the few Gallup throws that are just like short. Most of them are either on point or they're overthrown. And right around this point in the season, I really think this is where it started to get noticed because these nationally televised games. So if you think about, let me just say, like the last 5 throws, Dak just missed them. Like the last 5 throws, Dak missed Gallup, but it wasn't really a problem until these next few games here. This primetime game on Thanksgiving where, hey, we're in this big fight with the Redskins and, Dak just missed that throw on national TV. Or, hey, we're playing the Saints, which is a big game for the Cowboys, and we miss Michael Gallup wide open on this deep pass on primetime television. Or we missed this pass versus Saints. I don't think that Dak makes or misses any more passes with Gallup than he does anybody else or any other quarterback. I just think that the handful of misses that we just saw them on live TV, and we see a connection here. Let's take a look at Michael Gallup's like stride right here, right? Good stride, kept running. And it's accurate. And people will tell you that Dak can't throw accurate football. He does. He throws a lot of them. It's just interesting his connection with Gallup here. Did he make or miss this one? He missed this one. He overthrew this one. And this was another primetime game, a very important game. We fighting for playoff relevance. We went from like 3 and what was the record, y'all? 3-8 or something, like 3 and trash. We were like 5 and whatever the record was pre-Coop, the pre-Coop record. We were fighting our way back from that. And I guess the last thing people wanted to see was Dak missing people when we flat out should have been connecting on those, because some of people's biggest arguments was, like we beat the Saints but we could have beat the hell out the Saints, or we beat the Eagles but we could have beat the hell out the Eagles, or we could have won that other game versus the Redskins. So I think that these last few stretches, this was really when Michael Gallup was getting the majority of his criticism. YouTube Illuminati is taking money away from your favorite content creators, and people often ask the best way to support the channel directly. I tell them that's subscribing to my Patreon. Just $1 a month would increase production and the frequency of uploads. Basically, that means more content for you. For less than a bag of almond M&Ms, you can support the channel, call dibs on requests for future videos, and you can have access to Patreon exclusive material like my throwback film sessions. That's patreon.com/Voch Lombardi. I appreciate the support. Doski Woski. So shouts out to all my Patreon people, and also shouts out to everybody that has bought merch from me. Appreciate the merch gang. The Finish Your Food is dope. I Watch Film is dope. I own each and every last one of these shirts. You can get you one too at shop.spreadshirt.com/Shop Lombardi. That link is in the description. Go hit that button, man. Thanks. But I think towards the end of the season, it kind of turned on for him a little bit. Everybody kind of noticed it, just kind of eye testing it or whatever. Like, hey, Gallup kind of got a little better towards the end of the season. The Dak to Gallup connection got better towards the end of the season, and I would agree. It's just that we had major change in the middle, and Dak and Gallup just kind of had to find their legs, and they had to figure this thing out. And this is the playoffs or whatnot. And there was also a back shoulder fade to the end zone, but that didn't qualify as a deep pass, but it was a back shoulder fade to the end zone. But I didn't add this. So this last third of the season, boom, Dak Prescott, Dak and Gallup on the last 3 passes, they were 2 for 3, which in total puts them at 10 for 22. Which puts Dak Prescott to Michael Gallup on deep passes at 45%, or at least I think that's what it is. I did 10 divided sign 22, move the decimal place. So like I said, all my math majors out there, I'm not a math major, I just do football and video. So, if I'm right or if I'm wrong, whatever, let me know. But the number I came up with was 45%, which is right on par with what Dak's regular accuracy number was. So sure, I think there's something to it, and I would like to do some more research just to kind of fully get a good idea of, what it was. Like why was Dak and Gallup? Why was Dak and Gallup so automatic in the first part of the season, fell flat off the face of the earth in the middle of the season, pushed off the bridge almost, and then they kind of came back on towards the end of the season? I really want to get a good understanding about why that is. So if y'all want to see me break that down, I can do that on film. If not, I'll just watch it anyway in my free time and just tell y'all what happened. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, there's the ending number. This is his whole deep completion number for everybody. That is his Michael Gallup completion number. Now y'all know at any point y'all can just rewind this thing and be like, hey Voch, we want to see Cooper's throws. We want to see deep throws to the tight end or whatever. I mean, if y'all want to see that video, just let me know what y'all want to see, and we can do that. But I think it's interesting. I did this because the people asked for it. The people wanted to know. So hey, there it is. Dak was 10 for 22 going to Michael Gallup. And that's 45%, which ain't bad, which ain't terrible. Don't get it twisted. It ain't terrible. But I do want to do some additional research to find out why was it so automatic early and bad in the middle. We'll figure that out later. With that being said, y'all like this video, subscribe if you haven't, hit the notification bell so you know when I drop random think pieces, film sessions, live streams in the middle of the week, just like this, even blogs, because I'm doing blogs now. Hit that button so you know. And hey man, support everything that I do. I appreciate y'all very much. Y'all hold it down for the Doski Woski and the Peasky Whiskey is free. Salute.